Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Twin Flame family. Thanks to those of you that are new and joining for the first time. And we've got Stella in the background. She's on her perch watching the birds. It's Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to those of you that celebrate. This is your energy update for the collective Twin Flames for the week of April 16th. So we're going into the week preceding a new moon. Okay, so I'll get to that energy update next week. So we're going to talk about the new moon in Taurus. One thing to note is that Venus has now gone direct. So Venus really influences our aspects of romance, love, money, beauty. And so I really feel for the collective, like, especially for the divine feminine, we've been giving a lot to others, giving a lot to things outside of ourselves and not giving enough to ourselves. This, with Venus going back direct, this is the perfect time to really nurture yourself. And it's funny because, of course, in the cards that came up, Mother Mary appears and she's saying, nurture yourself. And this is really about spending some time on yourself. I feel like a lot of the twins are really committed to their, spiritual healing and learning and all of that. And that's great. But this is beckoning us to get back to us. So that means with Venus direct, it's a good time to focus on your beauty, do your hair, do your nails, have a bath. Like I said, go get a massage, do something that makes you feel good, that brings you back to you, that you can connect back into your physical self. Not that it's about vanity, but it's really about just giving back to yourself. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we get into the actual reading for the week. So like I said, Venus is going direct now, and then we've got that new moon that's coming up on the 26th, which is not this week, but the week after. And that is going to be a very grounding new moon. I say really good things about that. Just after that, Venus, and that is ruled by Venus, and Venus will enter Aries, which is about new beginnings. So this period of Venus retrograde has really been about evaluating our current relationship, figuring out, or just kind of looking back on the things that have or haven't worked. And I really think that this is a time to be like, I think I mentioned in my last video, and it's come up in our workshop and in readings this week, but this is a time to be like, what did I forget about me? What have I forgotten about me? What makes me me that I need to get back to? So with Venus direct, this is the perfect time to do that, whether it's an activity, if it's something artistic, like I said, if it pertains to beauty or health or some sort of wellness regimen or fitness regimen, this is the time to get back to it, okay? Perfect timing. So last video I posted, it was interesting because a couple of comments, and I've heard from some of you that there's been a lot of anger coming up for twins, like certain messages are sparking anger. And I think that that's a lot of still purging that we're doing, okay? Because I've actually felt it evident in my own situation as well. And it can feel very much like the same old wounds being triggered again, or that same old thing not having been healed in someone else, but really it's that same wound that hasn't been fully healed in us. So like if we're sensing deception from our twin, this is what I'm feeling. This is coming up again because this is challenging us to trust. Okay, and this is, I feel like it's towards the masculine, but it could be for either twin. And this is still about the trusting that this isn't going to be the outcome again, okay? That if you put faith in this person and if you focus positively, that's what the outcome will be. It will be positive. It's not saying to turn a blind eye to behaviors that aren't in line with your values or morals. It's just saying that our fears sometimes create reality, or very much create reality, and we have to be careful about our thoughts to keep them pure and to really just keep trusting the other person, trusting yourself, trusting your own judgment. Because the energy underneath all of this really feels like this. This is dismay. This is upheaval. This is Like, I feel like the twins are having a period of like good, even then this. Like, then it's like it all goes back into the wounds and the deception or the non-committal or the, going back to old patterns. And so remember that as we do this, and it goes good, 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 and then it goes bad, and then it goes good, 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 and then it goes bad. So I've talked to many of you that are like, when it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's bad. And I mean, even in separation. And so this is still about us sustaining surrender, but remember that the stuff that's coming up that feels like upheaval, it's still the stuff that we're, it's calling us to pay our attention to where we still need to be healing from within. And it's almost like these things, sorry, sirens out back, but these things are necessary to come up so that we can start on this more romantic, more committed path moving forward. And this may even signify a new beginning for many of the twins coming out of those last triggers and old patterns. The thing about it is the twins are getting better at, yes, still being triggered, but definitely getting better at coming out of it sooner. And you're getting better at going back into surrender quicker. And you're getting back to yourself faster. So I talked about that in the last video I posted. If you guys missed it, it's called How Do I Sustain Surrender and Stay There? How do I surrender and stay there? Please watch it if you did miss it. So this sort of resting energy, this is the feminine, okay? I feel like this feminine is tired because she's giving to everybody else, like I said, and it's time for her to nurture herself. It really is. And this is about worrying. It's about giving to, I feel like it's over giving. So yes, our divine feminine quality of nurturing is beautiful, but there is a difference between nurturing and over giving, okay? And giving, okay, which is more of a masculine trait. Nurturing is still going to be in line with your boundaries, and you're not going to feel depleted when you're nurturing. You're going to feel good. It's going to feel healthy. When we overgive, when we're giving too much, we're ignoring our own needs. We're skipping over ourselves, and then we might become irritable, cranky, upset easily, angry, frustrated, and you'll know that. If you feel those emotions, check in with yourself and ask yourself if this is why. If you feel exhausted, angry, frustrated, like I said, annoyed or irritated, I really feel, especially for the feminine twins, that this is the reason why, right? That we are not giving enough to ourselves. So don't think that it's selfish, because it's not. Just carve out the time for you and start a new regimen. Now's the perfect time with Venus going direct to start the new regimen. Whether it's 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, an hour a day, if it's engaging in a certain activity, or like I said, a beauty or health wellness regimen, whatever it is, it's time to focus on finances in a good way, like things are going your way, and let's get excited about it. Let's get excited about your mission, growing new endeavors, swelling up your bank account, feeling the abundance flowing towards you. These are the things that are going to shift this exhausted energy, okay? Because really, our energy is limitless, and when we're feeling depleted like this, it's emotional. It's coming from the low vibrational stuff, and so we can move out of it consciously by knowing how to shift. So again, for those of you who didn't watch my video on surrender, please try to do that after you watch this segment, okay? Or pause and go watch it now. So I still am getting this forceful energy for the shared, the combined energy for the masculine and the feminine. And it's the Knight of Swords in reverse. This is still about a hastiness. This is still about going really fast. Remember that, like, when we rebuild or move towards a new beginning, set a new regimen, or are just changing the behavioral patterns that have been like default settings for us for years and years and years, this is not something that we want to go full force ahead. We want to slow down a little bit. This is saying not to be hasty, not to make huge, not just decisions, but like say, like, why isn't it happening now? Why isn't it happening now? Like, no, remember that all the small steps you take, like I was talking about in the surrender video, all the small steps you take puts you in alignment for the bigger stuff. And it's the same thing in your twin flame relationship. It's like, if we are hasty and say, no, I don't want to do this anymore, or I can't do this the way that it is, or, okay, this is a new beginning. Well, why am I not seeing change fast enough? Like, this is about maturing emotionally and understanding that we need to get into our feminine with this energy, okay, in terms of taking the sword out of our hands and not being so aggressive with it, not needing, wanting right now and going after something. This is about just letting it unfold, okay? Letting it unfold. It's going to unfold. It is unfolding before our eyes. So all we have to do is trust it and have faith in that. Crowning over the twins this week is the Judgment card. Okay, and this is still about shifting old paradigms, like especially with the masculine not wanting to leave certain situations that have been toxic or have not been feeding his soul, or where he's unhappy, and this being the fear of judgment, the fear of breaking the mold, the things that our parents bestowed upon us, that things that were taught to us, the things that we were told are bad, and it is very much about putting others first rather than ourselves, especially for the masculine. And the masculine's lesson to learn is that putting himself first is going to actually put him in the position to be the strength, to be the protector, to be in a healthy balance where he can truly step into his masculine, rather than it being he is emasculated or being depleted by, pleasing everyone else and not pleasing himself. He's not truly unhappy. That same, exhausted energy that the feminine's feeling, the masculine has been feeling too, because he's not listening to himself. Okay, so this is about him balancing masculine and feminine energies from within and breaking away from what others are going to think. I feel like the twins are coming to a point of I don't care anymore what other people think. We're going to do this, or we're going to continue on. So many of the feminine twins have come to me and they've been like, my family doesn't like my twin flame. Well, guess what? Mine doesn't either. They don't agree with the way things have transpired. They don't know a lot of it, but they know some of it. And the pieces that, make you unhappy, of course your family's not going to like that. And the thing about it is that we have to be careful in our own situations to be honoring ourselves, our true, authentic feelings, sticking with the love because it's love, going towards what feels good. If something is abusive or not in line with your intentions, and not in line with your values or boundaries, it's up to you to reroute, right? To stay in your power and to reroute, whether that means pulling back until things become healthier, or realigning with your self-worth and self-value so that you can get things on a healthier track. Or it might mean pulling away right now just so you could focus on other things. Or it could be working through this in tandem, which is what my twin flame and I are doing, so that we can get to a healthier place. And it is slowly, every day, day by day, getting better. It's not to say that this stuff doesn't happen, right? But it's to say that we're getting better at it. And that's where the improvement comes. We're getting better at working through the turmoil, at working through our fears. At a lot of this stuff is just self-created. A lot of the stuff that happens between the twins is just a product of our fear. And so when we can let go of that and just trust that everything is in alignment, and it's really saying to trust our third eye. This also came up in a reading I did last week, the third eye card. And it's interesting that's coming up for the collective now. This is about this third eye opening for twin flames right now. It's a really huge time for us to seize this gift. This is going to be really pivotal in us moving forward along this journey and not feeling stuck. It's like that you are all, there hasn't been one twin flame I've worked with in a private session, in a class, or on the support calls that I know you are all psychic, you're all gifted, you all have the ability for some sort of mediumship, or you're tapped into your dreams, you're tapped into signs and synchronicities, and these skills are here for you to develop even more as you're in this process of your third eye is being blown open. It's a gift. They're telling you to seize it and really enjoy it, rather than staying those low vibrational energies that are all about that, not trusting everything, not listening to our inner voice. Someone asked me, how do we listen to our inner voice, or how do we know the difference? Well, the difference between our inner voice and our logical mind is, well, it's never going to come from a place of like force or being rushed. It's usually our logical mind that puts the time constraints on it, right? The messages often feel like, I don't know where that came from. It just popped out of nowhere. Okay, so it can feel like that. It's just like divine intervention just came in, right? Also, it's the feeling in your gut. It's like, does your gut clench up? Is this telling you to work, is this a warning sign? Is this something's not right? Something's off kilter? Well, don't move towards it if it feels off kilter. We want to move towards the things that feel light and good. The inner feelings that well up in you without the analysis, without the thinking, those are big indicators. Like, does this feel good? Do I have goosebumps? Am I inspired in spirit? Yes, that's your intuition speaking to you. In terms of like logical mind, like impulse versus those like divine messages coming in, well, you'll know, because impulse is going to feel like a trigger. It's going to feel like an emotional trigger. So when you're impulsively reacting, it's like that gut trigger. The messages that just come in, there's no emotional attachment. Like, they may conjure up a good feeling or a tense feeling in your gut, but there's not that personal attachment for you. You're just going to be like, wow, that kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm sure there's many other ways to identify, what voices are your intuition, what signs are your intuition, and what things are you like putting there, and what is coming from your logical mind. And as we get used to, some of this is very nondescript too. This is just comes with practice and with listening to our inner voice and trusting it. It's like, I had a client who was, really fearful about pulling in her new car into a parking space in a mall or a crowded parking lot. And so she took all that fear energy. She's like, I don't want it to get scratched. I don't want anyone to touch it. She took all her fear energy and she parked all the way at the end of the parking lot. And she went in, and when she came out, her car was all scratched. And she's like, how did this happen? I was so careful. But see, the thing is like, she was careful, but she took her fear energy, and it didn't matter where she really parked. She could have parked in the tightest space and between the two cars that were parked even recklessly, and she could have been totally safe if she had just trusted, right? So this is about trusting our inner voice and not breeding reality into our fears, okay? Because that's where most of the motivation comes from with twins, is fear. And that's where like the anger comes from, and it's fear of judgment, right? Fear of judgment. It's this, even with deception, same thing. It's the abandonment, same thing. It's fear. So remember to get back to yourself. The most important things are nurture yourself, trust and have faith, and really nurture your psychic gifts, your third eye, and what that's opening up to. So I'll leave you for that for this week. If you'd like to work with me in private session, you may book a session online at thetwinflamefamily.com. Just click on schedule a session, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.